The Bears on Hemlock Mountain, Alice Dalglish. Chapter 10. There are bears. Jonathan pushed back the big iron pot and stood up. There were no bears, but up the path came his father carrying his gun, and with him were Jonathan's Uncle James and his Uncle Samuel, his Uncle John and his Uncle Peter. Jonathan had never in all his life been so glad to see the uncles. "Jonathan," said his father, "what a fright you have given us! Where have you been all this time?" "Coming over Hemlock Mountain," said Jonathan in a small voice, and he ran right into his father's arms. "Well," said his father, when he had finished hugging Jonathan, "what is this?" He was looking at the big iron pot. "And why is it upside down?" "Bears," said Jonathan. "There are bears on Hemlock Mountain." "Stuff and nonsense," said his father. "But you are carrying your gun," said Jonathan. "So is Uncle." "Well," said his father. Jonathan pointed to the bears' tracks in the snow. "Bears," he said firmly. "There are bears on Hemlock Mountain." Jonathan's father looked at the bear tracks in the snow. His uncles looked at them too. "So," they said. "So?" And the uncles went off into the woods with their guns. "You and I must go home, Jonathan," said his father. "Your mother is worrying herself sick. You have been a mighty long time coming over Hemlock Mountain." "Yes, Pop," said Jonathan, and he hung his head. "But what kept you so long?" asked his father. They were going down the mountain now, and Jonathan's father was carrying the big iron pot. "Well," said Jonathan, "first I ate cookies, then I drank milk, then I slept." Said his father. "It is not the way to do when you are sent on an errand, but I guess you have learned that by this time." It was very still on Hemlock Mountain. There was only the crunch, crunch of boots on the snow. A squirrel scampered to a tree. He sat looking at Jonathan and his father, his paws on his heart. "I know what I know," he seemed to say. Crack! What was that? A shot in the woods? Or a branch snapping? The squirrel, frightened, scampered higher up in the tree. "Oh," said Jonathan. "Something tells me," his father said. "Something tells me we shall have bear steak for dinner." They kept on down the mountain. The birds twittered in the trees. "We know what we know. The birds and the squirrels and the rabbits helped me," Jonathan said. "They are my friends." "How could they help you?" asked his father. "They're so little." "Well," said Jonathan. But now they were near the gray stone farmhouse, and there was no time to explain. The firelight shone through the open door. It made a warm golden path on the snow. And in the doorway was Jonathan's mother. "Oh, Johnny," she said, as she hugged him. "How glad I am that you are safely home." As for Jonathan, all he said in a rather out-of-breath way was, "There are bears on Hemlock Mountain. There are bears." Then he took the iron pot from his father and set it down in the middle of the floor. Now his voice was proud. "I brought it," he said, "all the way over Hemlock Mountain. And here it is." Thank you, everyone.